We're happy and comfortable with our friends. Friendships are a powerful, positive, emotional force in our social life. We have to get good friends. That's not always easy because sometimes we feel lonely and unsupported without friends. Maybe we're just naturally shy rather than outgoing. Whatever the cause, it can be a worry. Deep down, we know we don't want to be isolated. Is there a way of overcoming loneliness or the shyness which stops us from moving forward to new relationships? Yes, there are many ways of attracting and keeping friends. I want to share one way that's helpful and just a little bit special. Let's begin by asking a few questions. Who are your friends? How did you become friends? Do you have many friends or just a few? Do you keep your friendships? These are life questions that affect just about everyone. Doesn't matter at what age or stage, from juniors in kindergarten to residents in retirement villages. How we deal with friendship is always a work in progress. I read an old sermon on this. It had a strange title, Friendship with the World. It was written by 18th century clergyman, the Reverend John Wesley. Now I have to be honest, most of it was hard to relate to and hard to understand. It didn't connect to me, except for one central idea. And that's why I couldn't let it go. It kept popping up throughout the sermon. It was a special kind of idea, and here it is in a nutshell. Surround yourself with those who are as positive about the Christian way as you are. Followers of the way shouldn't be moved by the fashions of the time, says Wesley. If we just follow what's trending or fashionable, there's an unfortunate effect. We make the way harder for ourselves than it needs to be. When we enjoy the way with fellow Christians, it's easier. But when we try to practice the Christian way without them, it's harder. Not impossible, says Wesley, but definitely very, very much harder. Life is conducted with all sorts of course, good, bad, and indifferent. All kinds of religions and agnostics and atheists. Wesley insists it's a big mistake to separate yourself from the world and try to deal only with Christians. Pity there's so many sub-Christian sects that do just that. Anyway, Wesley's central idea is very simple. Surround yourself with those who are as positive about the Christian way as you are. Notice that I didn't say surround yourselves with churchgoers. That's a critical distinction. It's what gives a razor-sharp edge to this sermon. Let me repeat the central idea. Surround yourself with those who are as positive about the Christian way as you are. You'll find that concept in just about every self-help book ever written. It applies to every part of life, not just the faith, but is most applicable of all to the life of faith. It's one of the most transformative concepts around. It will transform your friendships and make you feel every day counts. So, Wesley says that when you see the grace of God at work in your friends, you are drawn to it. It strengthens the friendship. God is the magnet in the friendship, a silent partner in those deep, sustaining friendships. Friendships have to be based on trust, respect, concern, laughter, tears, hunger for the good of the other. And these will flourish when there's also recognition of the silent partner. Could it be any other way? But it's not meant to be exclusive. Not at all. I mentioned earlier that Wesley's insight into friendship was a little bit special. When you read this and some of the other sermons, you see that he was laying the foundation for a fellowship. It was to be filled with what Wesley elsewhere would call sanctifying grace. It's not about church. It's about valuing other people for their walking the way with you. It's a neat little video you can watch about this kind of grace. Just click the info card which has come up and then click the movie. Thanks for watching. See you next week and through the year with John Wesley.